Yo, what's good, guys? I hope everyone is doing well. Welcome to another edition of the Altcoin Bosses. In today's video, we're going to be looking at 3 altcoins that have the potential to surprise everyone. Okay? Now, my name is Tino, and you've tuned into the Trader's Reality. In this channel, we talk about how to really exploit the marketplace by understanding the business model of the market maker. Okay? I don't just draw patterns on these charts. There is influence and psychological aspects to why price moves. And it's all down to understanding one aspect. When someone buys, someone has to sell. When someone sells, someone has to buy. So let's get with it. Ladies and gentlemen, in front of you, you can see one of the 3 coins that I'm going to be discussing. The first one being VChain. Now, why have I got the crypto market total market cap, which excludes Bitcoin and Ethereum, on the left side? Well, the reason being is because this chart right here tells you if the money is flowing into the alts or not. All right. Now, over the past, 1, 2, 3, 4 hours, there's been money pumped into the altcoins, without the exception of Ethereum and Bitcoin. We're not talking about those just yet. We want to know if the altcoins have got money going into them. And for the past 4 hours, money has been present in the charts. So looking across the board, I may have missed way many more coins that are actually showing good strength. But these 3 coins have caught my eye. So I'm going to dive straight into it. And let's have a conversation. So, VChain. What's going on with VChain? Well, first things first, ladies and gentlemen, we need to understand the following. Okay? Right now, the actual market cap itself is showing that over the past few hours, all right? So let's say from 4 o'clock this morning all the way up to now, okay, the alts have been selling off. Or do we understand it as the market makers or the liquidity providers that are putting money into the alts are going long? Now, this big move to the upside right here has solidified a lot of altcoins that have come out of patterns. Now, the reason why I'm focusing on VChain right now is because VChain is forming a pattern which, if it does decide to break from, is going to see some very interesting ground to the upside. So let's dive into VChain. Here we go. This is the daily chart of VChain right here. All right. Now, the daily chart is showing some interesting behavior. Why? Because it seems to be building a massive W formation in the zone. Okay. But we understand that this is on the daily time frame. We need to look deeper into understanding that this bigger pattern, where is the evidence that they are actually preparing for a bigger pattern move to the upside based on how they're accumulating their orders on the smaller time frame? So look at this. Drop into the 1 hour time frame, you can see another pattern which is holding at around the 200 EMA. Now look, you can see that this W formation right here, the 50 EMA is not showing, it's showing volatility, but it's pretty flat. The 200 EMA, flat. What you are looking for is the speed of candlesticks, but more importantly, the expansion of moving averages to solidify that they are getting ready to break higher. All right. Now, the reason why I've chosen VChain is because it's a textbook pattern. All right. Look at it. Market makers move price down to the downside and hit the guys with the shorts. Market makers building his longs, and then he shifts out of the zone, as you can see right here. Price continues higher. He hits the liquidation points for the retail traders who went short so that he can realize the return on his longs. At the same time, he's now then putting his own money in to build shorts at the highest possible point. For the guys who got liquidated on the move to the downside, they're going to try and take advantage of price going back up because they believe price is going to go to the moon as such. Well, how wrong were they? Market maker recovers the previous liquidity on the left side of the chart, as you can see, which is this vector candle. And he does the same process again, but to the downside. He hits the liquidation points for the longs by sending price down lower. He builds his longs and closes his shorts at the same time. But he holds in this zone. We can see that the red vector candles on the hour time frame are showing us that they're not finishing at the lowest point in the chart, which tells me market maker is trapping traders, committing them to the downside. Okay? He brings it back up and hits the liquidations, builds his longs, and then shifts price down again, builds his longs, shifts it down again, and then he finalizes with this green vector candle, which is a stopping volume candle, which means that he has induced enough interest at this point in time in the chart to commit traders to stay short and keep their liquidation points active and move them higher and higher in the chart. And then out of nowhere, he shifts the price and moves price higher. Now, what are we waiting for? We are waiting for the 5 and the 13 EMA to cross over the 50 EMA to tell us that the momentum is coming into the chart. We can't just make the decision on just simply looking at a pattern. That would be deemed as technical analysis, where all you're waiting for is price to come up and form a shape. You know, you guys may be familiar with these sort of shapes, like you've got pennants, you've got flags, what's it? Like here's one, like a flag, innit? You have like a golfer's flag. What's that? Looks like that, doesn't it? Yeah? And price comes up and down, and then by the time it comes to this point, at one point it's going to go up or it's going to go down. Too many times I've witnessed this sort of play happen where the market maker initiates a stop hunt rise, triggers all the guys to go long, and then hits their shorts, hits their liquidation points by sending price back down again, and then the traders change direction. Market maker realizes his returns, and then he bases out and then returns back up again, and the retail trader is thrown about because he believed that this was going to be a bullish flag and it was going to continue higher, but it didn't play out. 90% of what you guys need to be aware of is the psychology of why price moves from one point to the next, because this chart is all about people's interest at a particular point in time. Why does price turn from one point to the next? It's not because there is a supply. It's got nothing to do with that. You can only buy when someone sells. So when they stop hitting the orders up here, you can only buy if the market maker is selling you a short. Okay? He can't send price higher because there is a supply right here or a demand. No. The reason he turns price is because he's trapped enough liquidity to the upside for him to realize a return. Now, he needs to keep traders committed to the upside in this move to the upside, because if he makes them believe that price is going to change direction slowly, then the retail trader is going to be smart and he's going to pay himself, and then he's going to change direction. He needs to do it at a moment's notice. Just look at this candlestick right here. If price spiked to the upside and pulls straight back, all the guys that went long up here are getting pretty frustrated because their liquidation points have been hit. Then this candlestick right here sends price back up again. So he reinstalls the faith in the retail trader that price is going to continue higher. But then the next candle spikes it ever so much to the upside. He gets the retail trader committed, and then he shifts price back down again and completely throws them off guard. And then all this behavior right here, as you can see, this spiking of behavior, it's not because there's indecision. It's because people are still believing price is going to continue higher. Then he aggressively moves 1, 2, 3 to the downside. Recovery of the green vector candle, you can see the liquidation points are sat here. Retail traders are thinking, yep, I'm going to buy the dip, and that dip confuses them and sends price down lower, and the retail trader is exhausted. Now he's going short. Every time he goes short, he gets price pulled back up again. Market maker traps them. Trap again. Comes back up to the 50. There's resistance. We are now going short. Retail trader is committed. He brings price down again. The stopping volume candle spikes lower. Everyone is preparing to go short and riding the short on VChain. But then the market maker slowly brings it up, and then out of nowhere, he shifts out of the zone and throws off all the liquidation points for the retail trader who went short previously. See, that's the problem with the retail trader. He doesn't pay himself. He just wants to hope that his home run trade is going to see him through the day, and that he's going to be the best trader there is because he held onto a great short by VChain. That's not the case. All right? So, this coin, the only basis of it actually continuing higher based on this move right here is if the 5 and the 13 EMA, which you can see this red line here and this yellow line here, if price goes above that point, which it has done, once the 5 and the 13 crosses over the 50 EMA, which it hasn't done, now this is on the hourly, all right? Once the 5 and 13 EMA cross over the 50 and the 200 and edge higher, wait for price to retrace. And then if the intention to move this price out of the zone and continue higher is true, then you will see price continuing back up. At that point, the 5 and the 13 EMA would be in this range right here. All right. That would be the 5. The 50 EMA would have edged upwards like so. The 200 EMA would have crossed over the 50 and ended up like this. And price would be in this region right here. Okay. That's where it would end up. You will know at this point if this move is going to play out to the upside, which is why this trade may surprise you. Okay? This coin might actually continue higher. The first pool of liquidity will be in this zone right here. Okay? When you look at the higher time frame, where is VChain across the board, we can see that it's got another pool of liquidity up here that they haven't tapped just yet. They came up towards it, okay? But they didn't succeed in going higher. Why? Because they had trapped enough liquidity to the upside because traders thought it was going to make an all-time high. Not just yet, ladies and gentlemen. There's still money for them to get it in at a low price and get tons of it at a low price so that when they mark it up higher, they're going to see a fat return. Okay? It's not an all-time high. The all-time high, all the way up there. But we're talking about not all-time high. Forgive me. I got that wrong. On a day trading aspect, ladies and gentlemen, all right? This is the zone that price needs to break from in order for us to solidify. This is the daily app. In order for us to solidify that price is going to continue higher. Once it releases the liquidity from this point in the chart, we will be coming back to this next zone right here. You can see that point right there. That's the next point on the daily, of course. Okay? Once that is achieved, then to come back up to the all-time high, what the market maker will do on the daily is he will then move price higher, retrace, move it up, retrace, continue doing this, okay? Because each time he does this, he will be building vector candles or red vectors where he's going long at the lowest possible point at the highest range, and then he'll be marking price higher. That's how he's going to do it, right? I messed up a little bit there, man. Forgive me, guys. But that's why VChain is likely to make a move to the upside only on the basis that it does it and shows momentum being built on the 1 hour time frame. Okay? The next coin that I'm looking at, where is my altcoin buses? Is Phil. Got to look at Phil, haven't we? So, Philcoin, file, whatever you want to call it. Pull up the daily. Where is it? Another beautiful W formation, okay? Being formed on the daily. Yeah? Looking at the chart itself, we have got a plethora of vectors in the zone. This is on the daily time frame. Now, most people will say there's an even bigger pattern on here, which is true. Look, you can see one massive W formation, okay? And that is assuming that this is the final leg. You've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hits to the low. Every hit that corresponds from the first leg. The first leg is designed to make traders commit to the downside, all right? Which is why you see it lower. The second leg, which is moving back down again to this area, is to get the retail traders who got thrown off on the shorts to the downside after their liquidation points got hit to the upside, okay? Is to get those guys to commit to the chart again and go short. But this time, when the market maker brings price down lower, he holds it in this range. And you can see patterns within patterns. You can see right now on the daily candle on Philcoin, you've got a blue vector candle dropping into the 1 hour time frame. We've already seen some volatility coming into the chart. And there again, there is a pattern within a pattern within a pattern. Look, drop, rise, retrace, continuation out. What do we need to see for here? Well, the same criteria as VChain. The 5 and the 13 EMA need to be above price. Check. All right? Sorry, 5 and 13 EMA need to be above the 50 EMA. That's been achieved. And the 200, that's been achieved. They've expanded. That's been achieved. However, this is a bit of a fast move. 1, 2, 3, shift out of the zone. What are we waiting for? We are waiting for the rise, retrace, continuation, which is what happened there. And then we're waiting for another retrace, continuation to the upside. Look left and look for any vector candles in sight. You can see you got that point right there in the chart where is potential for price to come back up to. Okay? Now, once these coins actually make their gains, once this happens and they've tested this range, assuming that the total market cap for the alts themselves, okay, continues higher, the next point of interest for the total market cap would be at the 960 zone. If price gets up here on the market cap, which excludes Bitcoin and Ethereum, the support that has been built right now on Phil And on VChain, you will see these coins make very interesting moves, because we can see already that these coins right here, they shift out of zones, man. They move. All right. The final coin is this bad boy right here. Elrond, whatever it's called. Always get it wrong. Look at the pattern that is forming on the 1 hour time frame. You can't ask for a better pattern than this, ladies and gentlemen. Drop, retrace, continuation, up it goes. As long as the 5 and the 13 EMA are crossing over the 50, as you can see, that's already happening. The 5 is crossed over both the 50 and the 200. The 13 EMA needs to cross over the 50 EMA, okay? We need the 50 EMA to cross over the 200, as we've shown you in VChain. What's going to happen? 50 EMA will end up like so. We'll come up like this. 200 EMA will cross and go up. The 13 EMA will move higher, and so will the 5. Whilst that is happening, you will see the candlesticks form moves up, down, up, down, up, down. We've had the first shift out of the zone, which is 1 and 2. Okay? This candle may form into a shift candle and move higher and aim towards the 280 mark if the strength is there. Okay? As long as the altcoins are getting money pumped into it, the next pools of liquidity that they could come back and recover in Elrond, one up here, and then you've got this zone right here. Just look at the beauty of that pattern right there. 800 EMA confirmed support, moves up, retrace. Market maker has trapped enough guys who went short. Same story, isn't it, guys? They move price to the downside, commit the shorts, and look at how aggressively they come up with these green vector candles to the upside. They completely annihilated all the guys who went short. Why? Because the guys who went short didn't pay themselves. And that's the sad truth of this game. Every time someone opens a trade, they like to see green on their account, but they don't do anything about it. If you are currently in a trade right now that is sitting on green, now if your entry point, for example, is at 1 and you are now in a coin that is priced at 70, you're sitting nicely, my friend. Okay? But if people are taking day trades and they are realizing returns and not doing anything about it, do not complain when your position goes in the red. Do not blame the system. You have to be responsible for your ability as a trader on how frequent you decide to pay yourself. That's on you, not the market. The market will move in the direction that it needs to move. For all we know, this move to the upside could be a stop hunt rise, and then they completely annihilate and drop price all the way to the downside and recover these vector candles right here. The question that we need to have ourselves is this: have they done enough liquidity building in this range for them to grant to move price higher so they can start taking out these next pools of liquidity? That's the question. Okay? So, ladies and gentlemen, forgive me if I have bored you to death and had a good go at you guys at being accountable for your trading and making sure that you pay yourself. But I hope you've enjoyed today's edition. Later on this evening, guys, at around 10 p.m. GMT, I'm going to be doing the Ethereum giveaway. Okay? I'm giving one Ethereum to 2 people. I'm going to split the Ethereum in half. One person from the YouTube channel is going to get one half of it, and a person from Twitter is going to get the other half. All right? If you go to my YouTube channel, you will see the video in the community post. It's bright and purple, Ethereum giveaway. Check it out. Follow the instructions to take part in it. You have got 4 more hours, should I say? Yeah, 3 more hours until we do the giveaway, all right? Which will be bringing in the psychological levels for Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP later on this evening, all right? Other than that, guys, mad love and respect to all of you. Take care of yourselves. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the other side.